P Wood.
What up, man?
Let me turn my volume up real quick because this is about to get good.
What happened?
Oh, there's a lot, man. I mean, what happened? LeBron's about to shock the world next week. That's what happened.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he's about to shock the world, man. I'm tired of people disrespecting this guy. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm a little blind. Anastasia, how are you? Maybe I'm a little blind. Maybe I'm a little biased. I don't think I am. I don't think I am. No.
Oh, come
There's
on,
a lot that went right for Denver. There's a lot that went right last year, and they're a better team. But one thing that I think the Lakers have a huge advantage of this year compared to last year, they're playing them when they're fresh versus like later in the postseason. So if you overcome this hurdle, they have a way better chance of going further than if they had to play them late in the playoffs. Because LeBron will be run down. He's 38 years old. Anthony Davis, we know, is injury prone. At
Little
least they get
too.
to play them when they're fresh.
Hey, listen.
So,
Hey,
late
listen, man.
in 6.
My man Jerry Jeffries in the chat. Hey, man, listen. I'm letting you know right now. Can the Lakers beat Denver? Yes. Would I bet on it? No. You know why? Because I like to make smart bets.
Right.
You know what happened the last time, 8 times the Denver Nuggets have played the Lakers? They've whooped them. And listen, listen, this is after Mike Malone cut up after the championship, told the Lakers what it was, and I remember seeing the Lakers in the preseason talking about, ooh, next time we seen Denver. And all they did was get whooped up all season long. Denver is a well-oiled machine. Jokic owns Anthony Davis. There's 2 ways that the Lakers can win this series.
Okay.
Number 1, AD plays Jokic. That ain't going to happen.
Right.
The second way is that they play close games and they run the pick and roll and headhunt Jamal Murray down the stretch, and Denver doesn't play it properly, and that allows LeBron to go off, or guys like D'Lo and Reeves and Hachimura to get wide open jumpers because Bron is posting up Jamal Murray. Those are the only 2 ways the Lakers gonna win this series. So either AD got to play the Joker head to head, and man, listen, I got a better chance of growing an afro than that happening.
Hey, come on, man.
Hey, I'm just letting you know, and listen, and this thing gone, so you know I ain't gonna get no afro. So like either AD got to outpoint Jokic, outplay Jokic, or it's got to be Lakers got to keep it close, and Denver has to fall victim to the LeBron James headhunting of Jamal Murray in the pick and roll. Those are the only 2 ways that the Lakers can win this series.
You have to be honest, though. Jamal Murray had the series of his life last year. He's probably going to come back down to earth compared to how he played last year. Do you expect the same Jamal Murray?
It's hard to say. Jamal Murray
he went crazy. I don't think Jamal Murray goes that crazy again. And a lot of those games were close games. And that's why I feel any other team, I think Denver absolutely has the advantage in the crunch. But because the Lakers, I believe, are good late in game situations, they're not a better overall team. They're not a better regular season team than Denver. And I understand they should be the underdogs for a reason. But late in games, like you said, the Lakers can keep it close. I believe they're the biggest threat to Denver than any other team in the West.
Man, the whole West is loaded. I can't say the Lakers are the biggest threat because, I mean, the Phoenix Suns are tough. You know, they're big 3. OKC is probably one of the best combinations of defense and offense that we have in the league. They're top 5 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. So we know what they bring to the table. Come on, man. Is there a duo playing better right now than Kyrie and Luka?
No.
So the whole West is loaded. So I'm not going to say that in the West, anybody can get it on any given night in any series.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only series I think, no matter who the 8 seed is, I think OKC is going to win. Outside of that, it can flip-flop either way.
Is there a series – and go outside of the West. What's the series you're most looking forward to? I know there's a lot of things we want to talk about. Got USA basketball, and then we know what Eddie said. I want to address what Eddie said. There's a lot that needs to be discussed. But as far as the playoffs, it's obviously here next week. Is there a series that definitely has just grabbed your attention?
Whole Western Conference, except for the 1-8 matchup isn't quite as appealing.
Okay.
But listen, I want Clippers versus Dallas. That's going to be must-see TV. Lakers versus Nuggets. That's probably going to be the one that people tune into to watch the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's not forget we got a Ant-Man taking on the Phoenix Suns. Hey, man, I know they got the big 3, but it's just big me. Ant-Man out there trying to get it done. So so there's a lot of different in the Western Conference. There's a lot of series. I'm like, whew, that's going to be fire off the rip.
Yeah, I'm taking Ant-Man over the big three,
Mm,
and
okay.
I'm taking Dallas over Clippers.
I mean, I can get down with both of those. I
Really?
mean, I think that, I mean, because they're all toss up series. I
Yeah.
mean, I could see Minnesota winning that series, or I could see Phoenix winning that series. The one luxury that Phoenix has is in the clutch. Ant's going to have to score every single night. Where Phoenix, it can be like it's Beal's turn, it's Booker's turn, it's KD's turn. So like that's the one difference. And then I want to see what Rudy looks like in the playoffs. Rudy sometimes gets exploited in playoff basketball.
Let me ask you, what do you think about Draymond's take about eventually Kevin Durant's going to have to guard Anthony Edwards? Eventually, it may not be the first game. He said it may not be the second game. Maybe it's a time in the third game. Maybe it is the fourth game. It's late in the game. Eventually, he said Kevin Durant is going to have to guard Anthony Edwards. Do you feel like in order for the Suns to win, that needs to happen?
I don't. I think that KD is a good defender, but I don't think he's the type of defender that's going to. I don't think it's like Kawhi in his prime, where it's like, oh, he's going to go guard him, or like LeBron in his prime, where LeBron would pick
Yeah.
his spots. Like remember when LeBron had to go over there and like guard like primetime D Rose down the stretch of
Prime D
games.
Rose. Yep.
Yeah, like them like 80. I mean, KD's not that type of defender. He is. He's improved as a defender. He's
Mm-hmm.
long, but like Ant-Man's not worried about. Ant-Man's confidence is through the roof. He ain't worried about none of them dudes guarding him. None of them. And truthfully, can't
Yeah.
none of them. Can't none of them dudes. Can't a person in a Phoenix Suns uniform guard Ant-Man? Straight up,
Yeah.
can't none of them guard him.
Yeah.
None of them.
Do you think now? I think the whole world knows Anthony Edwards is up next, but do you feel this postseason could be the postseason where he becomes a true superstar? Like, if Anthony Edwards makes a long run in this playoff, do you feel like it's no longer he's up next, he is here? Like, is this postseason that big for Anthony
I
Edwards?
think I think this postseason is that big for all the young talent.
Mm,
All the young talent has a chance to establish themselves as the next guys. We understand that LeBron still wears the crown as one of the most entertaining NBA players and the people that everybody talks about. But if you want to be the next guy, we got a crew full of young guys that can step up. SGA, OKC's number one. They make a deep run. We're gonna be talking about them different. We're gonna be talking about SGA differently. Even though we
right.
talk about him highly now, we're going to be talking about him even in a different stratosphere. We saw what the championship did for Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we discuss him differently now. A guy like Jason Tatum. Listen, Boston ain't no excuses. Y'all are hands down better than everybody in the East. Jason Tatum wins the title, makes a championship run. We talking about Tatum different. A guy like Luka. He's already one of
Mm,
those guys on top of the mountain, but you make that deep run. He's already been to the Western Conference Finals. Let's say he goes to the NBA Finals or wins it. There's a whole crew full of young guys. The guys that are next up, all the guys that in my mind that have kind of like surpassed where Zion was supposed to be. Like
mm-hmm.
that next crew of Luka, Tatum, Anthony Edwards, SGA, all those guys have a chance in the playoffs to really, really announce to the league that, yo, we here, we got up next. And dark horse, you even got Halliburton.
Oh,
Jalen Brunson. Like, yo, we got a crew full. We got that next tier because we see Steph already out the playoffs,
yep.
right? Hey, listen, it's whatever you feel. There's a strong chance LeBron could be out in the first round.
Right.
You know, there's a strong chance KD could be out in the first round.
Right.
We got a whole crew of young guys who, whichever young guy has the best run, that's going to be the guy we're talking about heading into next year. That's going to be the guy that we're going to celebrate as the next guy that can take the torch from Bron and Steph.
Yeah, that's what I'm really most excited about because, like you said, you can make a case for so many different players, and then the fact that if this postseason is going to determine on who is that guy, and I really feel Anthony Edwards could do it. I just don't have the Timberwolves over certain teams, but out of the East, if Jason Tatum can go to a second finals, that's impressive.
He got to win it though. He got to win it.
He has to win it.
He has to win it. If he goes to the finals, he has to win it. Like there's a lot of pressure on Boston because Jason Tatum has played so well, but then he's had some moments in the playoffs, like when finals against Golden State, it wasn't the way it was supposed to. Last year against Miami. So if he goes to the championship, he's been there before. So it's not going to be good enough for him just to go. He's going to have to go out there and win it because Boston has the best record in the league by far. It's not even close. They probably have the best overall talent in the league. They have the most two-way guys in the league that can get it done. guys that can score and strap up. So for Tatum to make that, for Tatum to be that next guy, he got to win it because he got the best roster. Like if SGA goes to the Western Conference Finals and loses, we're all we're like, that's still a great year for OKC, but OKC's a young team. Like this, I mean, they're younger than my Tar Heels.
I think
you know what I'm saying? My Tar Heels were old, man, but OKC young. And
they
so,
said this
like,
is the youngest #1 seed ever.
yeah, so like teams like a team like OKC or a guy like SGA, if he makes a run, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's the next step. But for Tatum, we've already seen you in Eastern Conference Finals. We've already seen you in the NBA Finals. The next step for Tatum is to do exactly what Jokic did. Go out there, win a championship, quiet the noise, and take your crown as the best player in the game. The reason why no one even debates who the best player in the game is because Jokic shut everybody up. He had two MVPs, and people were getting on sports shows talking about he's overrated. He didn't deserve his MVPs. He was stat boosted. They were saying ridiculous narrative takes to try to get clickbait, right, off this dude's name. But once he won that title, one of the most impressive runs we've ever seen, led the whole playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists. Never been done before. Now you can't debate it. Now when you say who's the best player in the league, you got to say his name. Tatum can do that for himself. If Tatum wins the championship, we come into next year, who are the best players in the league? We're going to be like, Jokic, Tatum, and then you can put any other order around that. So Tatum has that opportunity.
Let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say he loses. Does Boston be like, all right, look, we gave you the best roster. Like you said, we have the most two-ways. There's technically 2 Olympians on this team. You have Jaylen Brown as your number 2, who could be number 1 on a lot of different teams. What more can we possibly do? Do they start to hit the panic button? Do they like, okay, hey, maybe Jason Tatum isn't the guy we build around? Do you start having that question?
Nope. I can tell you what's going to happen. If Boston underachieves, we know what's going to happen. Jason Tatum is 6'9", 6'10", young wing player that can do everything, that can defend, score 30, shoot the 3 mid-range. And like, no, they're not getting rid of Jason Tatum. If the Boston Celtics underachieve, they're gonna start looking at Joe Mazzulla. We know how this game goes. Like, you just signed Drew Holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Drew Holiday gonna be there. Tatum gonna be there. I mean, maybe if you think it doesn't fit with Brown, but somebody would have to like knock their socks off with the deal. If Boston underachieves, now I don't think Boston, like, if they go to the finals, Joe's in any type of trouble. But if Boston underachieves, they're gonna start questioning Joe Mazzulla, especially with the way Ime had Houston rocking this year. Houston was like 17, 18 wins better than they were the previous season.
Yeah.
So people are gonna start looking at that like, hey, is the missing ingredient on the coaching staff, and that's just how the game is. We know how it's played.
Right. No, absolutely. Another young player I want to show love to, because you already know I'm in Florida. Paolo took the Orlando Magic to a 5th seed.
Hey, check your boy out. I'm covering that series too. I got game 3 and 4. I got game 2 and 3. Game 2 in Cleveland, game 3 in Orlando. Okay. You taking me out to dinner?
I'm about to say, hey, you already know dinner's on me.
You taking me out to dinner?
Yeah.
Hey, you pay? Are you paying for dinner?
I got you. I
got to experience the taste.
Hey, where are we going? Where are we going?
We going Ruth Chris Morton's?
Yeah, we can go Ruth Chris.
Hey, man, you hesitated like.
Oh, yeah, we can go.
You just gonna you hesitate like you gonna make me order off just the left side of the menu.
I'm about to say, yeah, you can get the left side, anything you want.
Yeah, I get all the appetizers. Like I just get the shrimp cocktail and the lettuce wedge. I can't get the Wagyu.
No. We're gonna stick to the left side of the menu. But other than that, it's on me though. You already know that's a series right there. That is a series too.
You're doing your boy bad right there. I can't go ahead. I guess I'll pay. If I can only order from the left side of the menu, I'll pay.
But you have to eat something beforehand.
And that's another series right there. Right there. Like Orlando is incredible. Mm-hmm. Cleveland has to win this series, especially after Cleveland played well last year and got beat by the Knicks first round. Oh, you can't. Cleveland cannot lose to the. Cleveland can't lose to the Orlando Magic.
Because you're going to see a Donovan Mitchell in a Lakers uniform if he does.
You're going to see wholesale changes.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, and I'm not coming for nobody's job, but I just know the way the business is played. Yeah. If the Cleveland Cavaliers have 2 great regular seasons and lose in the first round again to a team that people think they should beat again, even though Paolo's cold, Franz Wagner is cold, Suggs, I think Suggs should be first team all defense with the way he's
Yeah.
played this year. I know you get a chance to watch a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
So Orlando has a strong team. They're
Mhm.
more than capable. But I just know the way the game is played. If Cleveland don't win this series with the guys that they have, with the multiple All-Stars that they have, and the success that they've had the last 2 years, if Cleveland don't win this series, there's going to be changes. I don't know if that's coaching staff, front office, Donovan Mitchell, but there will be changes made. That's just how it goes.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of changes made in this season, this offseason. With Trae Young, you got Donovan Mitchell. There's like a lot of stars. I'm not gonna be surprised at all. They end up in a different uniform.
Yeah.
And like you said, obviously a playoff loss kind of accelerates that process. But yeah, Orlando, they're so good defensively. They can switch on everything. People don't even talk about Franz. Like Franz is nasty.
He's
6'10". Yeah, he's
6'10".
long. He can pass. He can shoot. He facilitates this team, even though Paolo is obviously getting the love that he's getting and well deserved. This team is not. And then Cole Anthony, the spark that he is off the bench. Yeah, I have Orlando winning that series.
Hey, listen, man, I got to call the series, so I'm not going to tell you who's going to win the series.
Of course.
I can't do that. But I got to call a couple games in that series. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a sneakily underrated series.
Yeah.
It's going to be one. It's going to be one where people aren't as excited for it at first, but when we see guys like Donovan Mitchell having these big time games, or Paolo announcing to the NBA that he's here, he's another guy.
Yep.
He's another guy, another one of the young guys. Let Paolo beat Cleveland in the first round and have an incredible series. We're going to be talking about him differently. So we got a lot of young guys in these playoffs. They got a chance to announce to the casual NBA fans what it is.
And he's a sophomore. That's the thing. This is only his second year in the league, and you're leading a team with the 5th seed in the East. That's impressive. Even though, like you said, they're a good team.
Second year in the league, you're leading a team full of young guys to a top-tier seed in the Eastern Conference, and you were an all-star. I mean, when you watch him play, like, this dude like 6'10", but he's strong. He well put together, man. He out there trying to seek contact. He got the handle. Like, he's just, man, like Paolo is one of those guys that's like, he's getting better and better. Like every season, I'm just like, man, like first year I was like, yo, he looked good for a rookie. Then this year I'm like, he taking a step.
Yeah.
And that's where to me, and I know this guy's not playing tonight. Zion Williamson has to look at all these young guys and take pride in what this summer workout's going to be, because there is a crew of young guys that are surpassing him right now in popularity and game. And if Zion is supposed to be mentioned with the Tatums and the Lukas, and he's taking a step back. If you're Zion, I know, hey, listen, I loved how he played against the Lakers, big time game.
40.
But I want Zion to watch these playoffs and see some of these young guys get announced as the next big thing, and I want him to get pissed off and come back and tear the league up next year, because that's what I believe he's capable of doing. But right now, Zion is in a situation where if he don't step his game up, all these young dudes are going to pass him, and he's going to be a guy that makes the All-Star team once every 3-4 years instead of being one of those guys that we think is a all NBA performer.
Yeah, and we just know how good he is.
Could be
like he dominates, and that's what makes it so frustrating sometimes because of his potential. And then we see it and how efficient he is. But Paolo didn't have a dribble pull-up the way he does this season, last season. So, yeah, like you said, there's no reason why Zion can't implement that. No reason at all.
Yeah. You just got to understand what your weaknesses are, work on them, and then once you work on it and you develop the confidence in the offseason and you take it into the year, then it's going to be on another level. That's where your confidence comes from, your offseason workouts. You put in the work, you get comfortable with certain shots, then you take it into the season. When you start seeing those shots go in, your confidence builds, and that's all that Zion needs.
Let me ask you, from your playing days, who is the toughest off-season worker that you've seen firsthand?
Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas
before his knee injury, for sure. His shooting drills, his full court shooting drills. I've seen guys try to do the same drills that Gilbert was doing, and they would just damn near pass out.
Wow.
Because he's doing full court drills. I'm not surprised that his son is as good as he is, and his son might be better than him, because he's implementing the same work habit. Gil had an incredible work ethic. Like, people just see the wild comments and the silly stuff. Yeah. They don't understand how he went from second round pick to max player. It's because he worked his ass off. Gilbert Arenas' full court workouts, shooting drills, and incredible things. Gilbert Arenas' workouts were crazy, insane, and super intense. Gilbert Arenas was one of the hardest workers I've ever seen.
He doesn't get enough credit for that. You never hear that. Like you said, you only hear the comments or his opinions, and obviously his flashy plays. But that's incredible to hear.
Yeah, because Gilbert he would do the silly stuff, and he played the pranks, and then there was the guns in the locker room, and then Gilbert's reign on top as an incredible player in this league was only 3 years because of the knee injury.
Right.
Like I think you would hear more stories about Gil's work ethic had he had like a decade-long run, like we've seen some of these other guys that stay in their prime for 8, 9, 10 years. His prime was cut short when Gerald Wallace fell into his knee. He was never the same after that. But listen, pre-knee injury, Gilbert Arenas was a problem and one of the hardest workers I've ever seen.
Let me ask you this before, and then we can get into a couple different topics, whatever you want to get into. The Golden State Warriors. There's obviously a lot of conversations about them. So it's over no matter what they do.
Finito. They're done. Wow. Put dirt on the grave. They're done. Mario Elie style. I know the young people know who Mario Elie is, but he used to hit a three. Do you know who Mario Elie is?
Yeah.
Do you remember he
used to celebrate when he did like that?
He used to blow the kiss. Yeah, blow the kiss. It's over. Mario, it's over because Clay might not be back. Wow. Steph had to carry. Steph played incredible this year and still couldn't get it done. They were the 10th seed. The West is getting better. There's two things working against Golden State. I don't know where they're going to find their next superstar to play along. I like Kuminga, but I'm not. I think they might need another star, and I don't know how they would get that star.
Yeah, he's out of there.
Yeah, and then the second thing is that you got to pay Dre. You got to pay Dre a lot of money, and then he's not a guy that can score. Like you see what the Western Conference is. Dallas, you got to go through Luka and Kyrie. Phoenix, you got to go through Beal, Booker, and KD. You got to go through Murray and Jokic, AD and LeBron. Like, dog, even a team like Sacramento, you got Fox and Sabonis. It just can't be Steph out here by himself running through a bunch of pin down screens and baseline screens. Yeah, no, like their run. Listen, the Golden State Warriors run was incredible. But there's no shame in being honest and saying, that incredible run, which changed present-day basketball, how teams play, how teams draft, it's all because they had to catch up with Golden State. That's why they were able to punch people in the mouth in the first couple of years. It took 2 to 3 drafts for the league to be able to have enough guys in the league to be able to do what the Warriors did. Like, like big guys were playing like Al Jefferson. Yeah. The Golden State Warriors scheme, man, they done ran guys like me, Al Jefferson, all the David
Dwight.
Hey, we had to go, fam. We had to go. Like you ain't moving your feet in the pick and roll. Nah, you got to go. And so the Golden State Warriors run was incredible. I salute it. I love the fact they even got an extra championship on the end. And I know Draymond said they're not done, but he has to say that. They are done. They are well done, okay? They are burnt crispy. It is over. It is over. There is no way in the world that the Golden State Warriors are going to be able to be a championship level team again, especially when we talking about the young pups. We talking about OKC. Man, they young guys is just getting in. They ain't even hit their prime yet. They number one. We talking about a team like Minnesota. Denver ain't going nowhere. I mean, listen, everybody that criticized the Luka Kyrie duo, they eating their words. Them two boys hooping together right now. Man,
too.
The Golden State ain't close. They done. Unless somehow they pull a trade that I don't foresee. If they somehow pull a trade to get Donovan Mitchell, obviously I got to revisit that. But right now, looking at it, they done.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The Kuminga can't stay there. If they're going to make a move, he's the most attractive, moving piece. Because to be that young, to be that talented, no one's paying that type of money. Well, never mind. Clay's a free agent anyway. Like you said, Draymond, an older roster. Steph's still amazing. And that's why I don't want to say the dynasty is definitely done. But because Steph is as great as he is, if they can make some type of move, like you said, that's their only hope. Their only hope.
That's the only chance.
Team USA. Any snubs? Anything that stood out to you? This team is stacked. They're older, but they're stacked.
Obvious snub got to be Kyrie.
Yeah,
got to be Kyrie. But we understand We understand what that's all about.
Yep.
You know, there's things that Kyrie has done outside of basketball that you're going to pay a tax for when you got to represent your country, and they got to worry about, are you going to say the right thing at the right time? You know, we understand that Kyrie not being on Team USA has nothing to do with his basketball skill. We know that he's one of the best, one of the cold. The dude's averaging 26 points per game, shooting 94. Like, was it 90? He shoot
90,
over 50,
40?
90, 50, 40. Yeah, 90, 50, 40. I mean, we understand what that is, but you know, they listen. You know what they say? They say free speech is only free if you ain't got nothing to lose. And some of the things that have happened in the past, yeah, it can be held against you, and not just in the court of law either.
You're good for a bar an episode at least.
Hey man, I give you what I can. That's all I got. I got one bar and I'm out of here. I don't want to do too much.
I'm about to say you're good for a bar, and it's like it gets you everyone to just sit there and think for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also because Drew Holiday plays that elite defense, so you have scoring with Steph and the rest of the guards and Book. You need that defense. So I thought that roster's stacked. I think immediately people start comparing it to the all-time USA teams, and talent-wise, name-wise, it's up there. It's up there.
Relax. The all-time team, relax. Dream Team what?
2012 and the Dream Team are the two best teams ever.
Yeah, we got to relax. Let's see what they do before we compare them to the Dream Team.
To bring in gold home. I mean, we know what they're going to do. The question is how dominant compared to the other teams.
I will say this USA team, this is going to be the first time in a long time where they have multiple dominant bigs. You know, for years, the bigs have been like, you know, role-playing bigs.
Yep.
Like, you know, but like, nah, this ain't no Plumlees or like a Tyson Chandler, JaVale McGee, great guys. But, like, this ain't those. Like, when you talk about Embiid, when you talk about Anthony Davis, Bam, like, all these guys, they can catch, shoot, and score and finish, and they can all defend. So Team USA, I think, should have a pretty easy go of it if they come out there locked and loaded and they got this unit. But there's going to be some questions because I'm not sure if some of these guys are going to be able to play. Like, Joel Embiid look gimpy right now. There is no way if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, if we get beat in the first round of playoffs by the Knicks and Joel looks gimpy, that I want him playing in the Olympics. Same thing with Kawhi. Kawhi got the 12th spot. Dog, they don't even know if Kawhi going to play. Like, do you know how pissed off I'd be if I was Steve Ballmer? If you talk like, hold on, so Kawhi's knee been swollen the whole time, can't play in the playoffs. We lose in the first round of Dallas, but instead of gold, and now he's gonna go get a gold medal. Like, there's got to be some like some of these guys that are nicked up. There's gonna be some questions like, are you sure you should be playing? So guys like Kawhi and Embiid, I'm not even 100% sure they're gonna be there.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. There's a lot of injured players on there. Kevin Durant's healthy now too, but I'm trying to think of the rest of the roster. D-Book is healthy.
Booker.
Book.
Steph, Halliburton.
Bron's going to be older. AD. Yeah, there's a couple people you got to see how this playoffs come out.
Yeah. You got to love Bron. I love the fact that Bron gangstered his way onto the team. I love that. I love it.
Man. Yeah,
I love the fact that if you really think about it, because people forgot this, Bron announced that he would play for Team USA before Team USA made an announcement. So he basically put it out there so that they had to put him on the team. Mm-hmm. Because he's older, he's older. They might not have put Bron on the team.
You think so?
No, the guy's 40 years old. Like,
he's not just 40 years old though.
What I'm saying is he didn't make it. He gangstered his way onto the team.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Get down and lay down. He didn't leave him no choice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely. He announced that he was
before anybody.
Before USA even had announced a roster. Now, this is the most gangster move ever. He forced the hand of Team USA. Bron, hey, listen, Bron be doing some gangster stuff, though. Yeah. He's forever changed free agency. And then with this move, he just in the beginning of the year just announces, oh yeah, I'm playing for Team USA. Man, didn't nobody even invite you? He just said he's playing. Go back and look. Go back and look in the beginning of the year. Bron just invited. He's like, yeah, I'm playing for Team USA. I'm like, yo. Did Grant Hill call him? I don't think he did.
No, he just said, this is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing. That's how he went back to Cleveland. Hey, I'm coming back. David Griffin was like, who's this playing on my line? Bron, you know who it is. I'm back. That's how Bron do. When Bron wants something, he go get it.
Negotiate. He just does it.
He goes and gets it.
B. Wood, is there anything else around the league? Anything you need to to share an opinion on, a bold take on.
Man, bold takes. I don't really have any bold takes.
Anything stood out to you over the last couple of days, week?
Last couple of weeks. You had your boy Eddie House calling out LeBron.
Oh, that's right. I did mention that.
Yeah,
I just think that's a little ridiculous, man. I really do. We know that Dallas series. I understand that is like the one thing that I honestly I completely understand the criticism of LeBron in 2011. It's the worst moment of his career, in my opinion. But it's not like he single-handedly just cost them everything too, though. And that's I get it. When you're the main guy, you're going to get the flowers when you win, and you're also going to get it when you lose. But didn't you think it was a little outrageous?
No.
So you agree with Eddie?
I actually think Eddie House is right on brand. When you're a great player, which Bron is, you have to accept blame. You go back and you watch, you had enough to make the NBA Finals, so obviously the roster was good enough to get you there. I didn't love the fact that Bron said, our roster wasn't built out good enough. You can say that if you average 35 in the finals. But when you average 17, when's the last time Bron averaged 17? When you average 17 in the finals, you can't come out and say, our roster wasn't good enough. No, the roster was good enough. In the finals, you weren't good enough. And then he became better, and the next year he smacks KD and those boys 4-1, gentleman's sweep. But I think that's one of those things where I was like, if I was in a room with Bron, I would tell him. And I really would, because I've had the GOAT debate in front of LeBron's face and told him, Michael Jordan. Really? And so on the plane, I promise you on everything I told him. We were leaving San Antonio, and I told him right to his face. Man. Probably why I wasn't back next year.
You're a good friend of mine, but this is LeBron at the same time.
I should have lied to him like Mike Miller and Kendrick Perkins did. They were like, "Yeah, you bet." You the GOAT. Hey, when we had this conversation, this is before Cleveland came back 3-1 or obviously the bubble championship. So he had 2 championships. They were like, he better than Michael Jordan. I'm like, are y'all serious right now? Y'all just gonna lie to the man's face, huh? Y'all might as well carry his bags, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
you're a bold man.
Hey man, I can only be me. And sometimes that's not always a good thing. But to get back to Eddie House's point, they won game 1. They were up 15 with 6 minutes to play at home in game 2. You can't look up there and be like, you didn't get no buckets in that stretch. I think he might have got some free throws late, whatever it was. You were up 15 points in Miami, NBA Finals, game 2, chance to go up 0-2. Bro, you can't, after you don't do anything in that stretch, you can't come out here and start talking about, the role players weren't good enough. No. I was on the other side of the game plan, so I can actually even tell you more than what Eddie House could tell you. There were times in that series where Dwayne Wade was physically abusing Jason Kidd in the mid-post to low post. Our game plan was to take Sean Marion off of LeBron and put him on D Wade to show D Wade a bigger body to slow Wade down, because we didn't think that Bron would take advantage of us in the post. I can tell you that from the other side.
Wow.
That was the game plan. And so I'm not telling you that to disparage Bron, because he's great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I know the game plan. How do you think J.J. Barea and Jason Terry ended up guarding him for stretches? Because we were like, we got to pull Sean Marion off of him and put him on D Wade, because D Wade is scorching out here, and we don't think Buddy want to go down here and do the tough stuff, and he didn't. And so, at that point, Bron's post game wasn't as refined as it is now. In the fourth quarter of those series, he wasn't playing well. They still went up 2-1 in the series. They won game 3.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I understand the team wasn't perfect, but if you're LeBron James, a player of LeBron James's caliber, you can't come out all these years and try to change the narrative and make it seem like the team wasn't good enough. No, the team was good enough. In those finals moments, this was probably one of the first times in my life I can say LeBron James wasn't good enough. And I know LeBron and some of the LeBron James stands, they want to act like those 2011 fourth quarter collapses didn't happen, but they did. And I know the farther we get away from it, the more they want to make, it was Eddie House and Eric Dampier fault. No, it wasn't. It it was Birdman's fault. Nah, it was Mike Bibby's fault. I was on the other side.
Yeah.
When a team pulls their primary defender off of you and they put him on another guy, that is when you're supposed to look at that, see the mismatch, and announce to the world, "I'm him." He didn't do that, and so now you can't have that type of misstep and then put it on your teammates. Come on, dog. That's not that. We weren't good enough. No. You were good enough. You didn't do what you had to do. And I love Braun. But he didn't do what he had to do.
Yeah, this is coming from, I believe he's the GOAT. And I will even say the 2011 series is a series where that's the worst moment of his career.
For sure.
And you were on the other side, like you just said, so you know the game plan, you know the perspective. And that moment defined LeBron's career. Like it literally it changed him to become the player that he became. And then he became a monster. And like you said, he never had those moments again. But we can't act like that moment didn't happen. Yeah. That's true.
I love the fact that he bounced back from it.
Right. I'm about to say
that. Like LeBron that was the first time probably, like you got to realize LeBron coming out of high school, the chosen one, the mega Nike contract, the instant success, the first game against Sacramento, he looks incredible. His whole life he had just been told, you the man, you the man, you the man. That was the first time when everybody was looking at him like, yo, you might not be good enough. And I love the way, he responded. He came back, boom, got the Thunder up out of there. Then came right back, boom, beat the Spurs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Responded with back-to-back titles. And then if you even just watch his game, he became a better post player. He became more willing to post up. He became a better three-point shooter. There were holes in his game in 2011 that I'll say after that, a year or two after that, no longer existed.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that I disagree with about that 2011 series is everything you said is obviously correct. I mean, like I said, you were on the other side. But when people use that one moment to dispute why he can't be the GOAT, that's the only time I find myself saying, okay, that 2011 series, I disagree with people who say now he can't be the GOAT because of that series. Because every great has had a series like that. Now, maybe not in the finals in that moment because, people say Jordan 6-0. But that, like you said, the way he responded is what made LeBron, like that Boston series the following year in the Eastern Conference was insane.
Yeah, I just think that when it comes down to it, when you're talking about the GOAT, you're going to have to nitpick.
Of course.
And so,
right.
And so, like, when you can say whatever you want to, there's no series where Michael Jordan averaged 17. And so, if you're nitpicking between the two, that's where the people on the Jordan side are going to say, well, Jordan might have lost the series to Boston. He might have got swept, but he ain't never had no series where he looked like this. And that's probably where the debate comes in.
B Wood, I can't argue with that, man. You're a champion. So
hey, man, it is what it is, man. Hey, I can't wait to get down to Orlando and run up your credit card for dinner, though. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, I got to get up out of here. I got to get ready to go to work, man. But, yeah, I can't wait to run up that credit card, man. Hey, I'm not ordering from the left side of the menu. I'm ordering steaks. I'm getting a steak to take home, too. So I'm gonna get a New York strip, and I'm going to get a filet to take home. All right, I'm out of here.